What if the biggest story about Trump's UFO files isn't aliens at all? Because right now, millions of people are locked onto one question. Did Trump just reveal hidden truths about extraterrestrial life? Or did he just unleash one of the most powerful media distractions in modern politics? Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth are calling this a historic act of transparency. Previously classified files, Apollo mission photos, strange, bright particles, government secrecy finally being challenged. And honestly, on paper, that sounds massive. For decades, Americans have been fascinated by UFOs, military sightings, and the possibility that governments know more than they've admitted. So naturally, this announcement grabs attention instantly. But here's where things get complicated. In politics, timing is almost never random, and that's exactly what critics are focused on. Because this UFO release isn't happening in isolation. It's happening while Trump is also facing pressure on multiple political fronts, from military scrutiny to broader public criticism and ongoing demands around other controversial files. So the bigger question becomes, why now? Why release something this sensational at this exact moment? That's where critics say this starts looking less like transparency and more like political theater. Because Trump has always understood something many politicians struggle with: attention controls narrative. If the public conversation suddenly shifts toward UFOs, classified space mysteries, and Apollo anomalies, then for a crucial period of time, national focus moves away from other political pressure points. And that doesn't automatically mean the files are fake. That part matters. Some of these documents may absolutely contain real material people find important, but critics argue the real concern is selective transparency, because true transparency isn't just about releasing dramatic information that captures headlines. It's about being equally open across the board. So naturally, people start asking, if Americans deserve the full truth, why this truth right now? Why UFOs? Why extraterrestrial speculation? Why not the same level of urgency around every politically sensitive issue? And that's what makes this bigger than a simple disclosure story. Because if this is genuine, meaningful transparency, it could pressure future administrations to reveal more and rebuild trust. But if these files end up being vague, heavily redacted, or filled with mysteries that spark headlines without delivering clear answers, then this may be remembered less as historic disclosure and more as strategic narrative management. And here's something deeper. A lot of people miss. UFOs are one of the few topics powerful enough to instantly capture attention across political lines. Left, right, independent. It almost doesn't matter. People pay attention. That makes this uniquely powerful. Because in today's media environment, controlling the national conversation can sometimes be just as valuable as controlling policy itself. And that may be one of the smartest parts of this move. UFOs create curiosity. Mystery creates engagement. And uncertainty keeps people talking. It's the perfect headline storm. Supporters may see this as bold leadership and long overdue openness. Critics may see it as spectacle politics, another dramatic narrative designed to dominate headlines during politically inconvenient moments. But no matter which side people fall on, one thing is undeniable: this changes the conversation. And in modern politics, changing the conversation can be power. Now, with more releases reportedly expected in the next 30 days, the stakes get even higher. If stronger evidence emerges, clearer military records, more detailed files, undeniable revelations, Trump's team could claim they delivered something past administrations refused to do. But if what comes next feels fragmented, inconclusive, or overhyped, then critics will likely argue this was never really about truth in the first place. It was about attention, because once you promise unprecedented transparency, people stop wanting mystery. They start demanding answers. And maybe that's the real story here. Not whether UFOs are real, not whether Apollo missions captured strange phenomena, but whether this release is truly about informing the American people or strategically influencing what they focus on. Because in modern politics, information can absolutely reveal the truth, but it can also redirect attention. And right now, that may be the biggest mystery of all. So as more files potentially arrive, the smartest question may not be, what's in them? It may be, why were they released now?